Charlotte-Mecklenburg schools are settling a lawsuit over a spirit rock. A family filed this federal suit late last year, accusing Ardrey Kell leaders of violating their daughter's constitutional rights. The family claimed their daughter and her friends were given permission to paint the school spirit rock in honor of Charlie Kirk after his death. But the district refuted that claim later and said that the painting of the rock was considered vandalism.
Joining us now this morning, our chief legal analyst, Khalif Rhodes. Khalif, when it comes to students' rights on campus, whether it's political expression, religious expression, what rights do they have?
Well, the courts have said, this is a famous statement from the Supreme Court that says a student doesn't shed its First Amendment protections or rights because they enter the threshold of a school. And so they have the same rights as you or I if we're outside of the school. The only difference is it can be severely limited for a number of reasons. If you're talking about hate speech, if you're talking about activities that have school insignia, if you're at some type of assembly, the school can limit that. They can chill your speech in a number of ways depending on the activity. But the courts have held in a famous case, Tinker v. Des Moines, that you can wear armbands, you can wear, T-shirts that support you. You can do, public speeches that support your cause as long as it doesn't substantially disrupt the learning activities on the campus. And so, and this is why I mentioned this a number of times when this first happened, that I thought that any plaintiff that brought a claim would have the legs to win a case because there was no policy in place at the time when CMS was doing this. I truly believe that the law was supporting CMS with banning these types of activities on the spirit rocks, but you have to have a policy. And so if you have a due process violation while attempting to exercise your process, the students are going to win at every time. And so that's why you settle. You settle because you don't have the cards in your favor, and clearly they didn't have the cards in their favor.
And also because the students had said, hey, they said that we could, and then they said that we couldn't. So just a little bit of confusion there. But now there is a policy. So what do you expect that to look like? I
mean, going forward, it would comply with what I mentioned. That Tinker v. Des Moines is the court precedent, case precedent. It's been there for as long as I can remember. Back in law school, we talked about that case. I mean, this is Vietnam War type of cases. Folks wearing armbands, college cases, at Columbia and places like that, where they were protesting a number of things that the United States government was doing, and folks were suing because they were getting kicked off of campus. And the courts have said you can do this as long as it doesn't substantially disrupt. And so I think CMS would have had an opportunity to limit or stop a student from doing this. Even after the school would have given them permission, they still could have limited and stopped it if they wanted to, if there was a policy in place. That's crucial more than anything. The First Amendment argument, I think CMS wins that in court with a policy in place. Without a policy in place, they have no legs to stand on at all.
So if you're another school district, whether you're in the Carolinas, anywhere in the country, if you don't have a policy, are you watching this going, oh, we need to come up with something now, maybe before school starts in August, in case something like this happens?
Absolutely. I mean, and if you're in-house counsel, if you're a school board attorney, if you're outside of counsel advising, this is what your job is. You're telling them about potential risks. You're finding ways to mitigate it. You're pulling up any policies. You're grabbing them online or in book or however you have them and saying, hey, do we have anything that talks about this? And if you don't, we need to go ahead and bring this to a meeting so that your board can pass something that complies with what the law requires. And it can't be after the fact. I mean, I say this all the time, that we are responsive, we're reactive. When something happens, then we want to react. But they were attempting to react in real time without having a policy to support it, and we're creating it on the fly. You can't do that, especially when you're now trying to hold the student accountable. I mean, they had a number of complaints, First Amendment, also Fourth Amendment, pulled the student out of class, didn't let the parents know, took the student's phone. I mean, across the board, this complaint would have been a slam dunk for a plaintiff. So it would have been extremely hard for CMS to be successful on any grounds within this complaint. That's, again, why you settle.
Obviously, the death of Charlie Kirk was very divisive, right? So where do divisive topics stand in terms of something like painting a spirit rock on school campus? Is that more at the discretion of an administrator, or what does the law say about that? Just because you might not like it.
And that's what the first part about free speech in this country is, that, yes, you have an ability to say things that other folks do not like. That's what makes it free. Because I can say something that you may not agree with, but still have the ability to do it, is what separates us from other countries. The line is, and it's a bright line, is where your speech now causes someone to create violence, crystal clear. If it's hate speech, it's crystal clear. And in school settings, if it disrupts. And so when you talk about those divisive type of statements and recognizing the climate and the time that we are in now, and even in that moment, the school would have had an ability to say, hey, This is divisive or has the potential to be divisive. And that's why I say they would have had the law behind them to stop it as long as they had the procedure in place to actually start and initiate that, and they just didn't.
All right, Khalif, thank you very much. Appreciate that.
Queen City News Plus. Just search Queen City News on your smart TV's app store.